Hello, this is Opinion Radar, and today I'm thrilled to dive into a tool that has transformed my approach to precision woodworking, the Preciva Mini Positioning Squares. Priced at just $22 for two sets, these clever clamps are engineered for artisans and DIY enthusiasts who demand accuracy in confined spaces. Whether you're crafting delicate jewelry boxes, assembling custom furniture, or tackling intricate restoration projects, these mini squares offer the perfect blend of portability and control. Their compact design solves a common problem, achieving flawless 90-degree angles without bulky equipment. In this review, I'll explore how they perform across various tasks, their durability, and why they represent exceptional value for detailed craftsmanship. Prepare to see how such a small tool can make a big difference in your workshop. First off, let me say these Preciva Mini Positioning Squares immediately stood out when I unboxed them. The aluminum alloy construction feels substantial, heavier than I expected for their size, and the red anodized finish gives them a premium look that matches well with professional tools. Right out of the package, I appreciated how securely they were packed. It's rare to receive hardware that arrives without a single scratch or dent. The moment I gripped one in my hand, I could tell these weren't flimsy plastic clamps. They've got a solid metal-to-metal coldness that instills confidence before you even use them. Setting them up for the first time was straightforward, and I was pleased to discover they snap into place with a satisfying click that assured me they'd hold firm. What truly sets these clamps apart is their uncanny accuracy. I tested their squareness against my machinist square, and the alignment was dead on, no gaps, no wobble. This precision is invaluable when you're assembling components where even a fraction of an inch matters, like picture frames or small cabinet corners. Their compact 2.32-inch footprint lets you work in places larger clamps simply can't reach, whether you're tightening joints inside a jewelry box or clamping the inner corners of a drawer. I've used them on projects ranging from lightweight MDF to thicker plywood, and they maintain consistent pressure without marring the material. The real benefit here is efficiency. These clamps eliminate the need to constantly recheck angles, saving time and reducing errors. I've put these mini squares to the test in several practical scenarios, and each use reinforced their versatility. Last month, I built a custom shadow box for a client, and the clamps fit perfectly inside the narrow frame, holding the backing and front panel aligned without sagging. On another occasion, I used them to assemble the corners of a small cabinet where space was so tight that my standard clamps couldn't fit. The Preciva squares slid right in, and the gentle tension they apply kept everything flush without crushing the wood. They're also ideal for repetitive tasks like mass-producing identical boxes because they rapido lock and release. For artisans or DIYers tackling furniture restoration, these clamps are a game changer for maintaining consistency across multiple pieces. Balanced against their strengths, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. Chief among them is that these aren't self-aligning. You do need to pay close attention to positioning before tightening. If you're new to clamping techniques, this might feel cumbersome at first, though it quickly becomes second nature. The small size also means they're best suited for lighter to medium-duty projects. I wouldn't rely on them for heavy structural joins unless you're using additional support. Another minor quibble is that the moving parts can feel a bit fiddly compared to larger, knob-operated clamps. That said, none of these issues significantly detract from performance. They're simply adjustments to one's workflow rather than flaws in the tool itself. Compared to other right-angle clamps I've owned, notably the larger woodpeckers models, the Preciva squares excel in portability and precision for small-scale work. Where the woodpeckers offer broader jaw spread and greater force, they lack the nimble profile needed for tight spaces. The Preciva clamps, meanwhile, trade off some raw power for exceptional control in confined areas. I often pair the two. I use the larger clamps for initial assembly and the Preciva squares for fine-tuning corners. This hybrid approach leverages the best of both worlds. For professionals who already own a robust clamp collection, these mini squares serve as a specialized add-on rather than a replacement, but for beginners or those focused on detailed craftsmanship, they're an outstanding standalone tool. Speaking from direct experience, I recently used these clamps to build a set of matching drawer fronts for a custom entertainment unit. The drawers required perfect 90-degree corners, and the Preciva squares held the veneer panels immaculately during glue application. What impressed me most was how snugly they gripped the materials. Even with thin plywood, there was zero slippage. I found myself able to apply clamps, run the glue, and step away for a few minutes without worrying about misalignment, something I can't always say with other brands. The ease of adjustment was another highlight. Flipping the clamps to switch between inside and outside corners took seconds, keeping the workflow smooth. After the project, I stored them in my tool bag, and their compact size means they never get in the way. At $22 for two sets, these clamps represent exceptional value. They're durable enough to withstand frequent use, and the ability to clone settings across pairs is a time saver for repetitive tasks. I've purchased several tool sets in this price range that felt flimsy by comparison. The Preciva squares feel like they'll last for decades. Would I buy them again? Absolutely. In fact, I've already ordered an additional set for a friend who was impressed after seeing them in action. For anyone who works with small furniture, boxes, or intricate woodwork, these mini positioning squares deserve a permanent spot in your toolkit. They're not just clamps. They're precision assistants that elevate the quality of every project they touch. For those who value precision in every build, these clamps deliver flawless results. Show your support with a like to align with excellence, and subscribe to clamp down on the latest tool reviews. Your next project deserves the best. Stay connected for more expert insights. Let's craft successful builds together.